it's Miss Kirk, and I'm so glad to be back with you again today. We are going to get started with one of our deep breathing techniques, just like we always do. So make sure you're in your crisscross with your back straight, your head reaching towards the sky, and your proud mountain pose, ready to make it a great, fun-filled lesson today. Today's breathing comes from one of my favorite books, Breathe Like a Bear, and this is called our flower breath breathing. I picked this one because I don't know about you, but I've loved seeing all the bright flowers pop up everywhere. When I go on walks and I enjoy the sunshine, I've seen so many different beautiful flowers of all different colors, all different shapes, all different sizes, even the redbud trees turning red, all sorts of things. Maybe on a walk this week, you can identify all the different flowers you see, all the different bright colors. Be sure and notice it. It sure is beautiful out there. And as we learn our flower breath breathing, maybe on a walk looking for bright colored flowers, you could even try out your flower breath breathing while you're out there. So let's learn about this new breathing technique to get us started. For our flower breath breathing, it's pretty easy, but we're gonna pretend like we have a flower in front of us. You're gonna hold that flower. You can either hold it in front of you or just imagine it with your eyes closed or focused. And imagine what that flower looks like. It's your special flower, so it can be any color, any size, any shape. Maybe it's a made-up flower, maybe it's one you've seen recently. But imagine what your special flower would look like. Now, as we learn our flower breath breathing, it's really easy. All we're going to do is take a big deep breath in through our nose. Imagine that we're smelling what our special flower smells like. So we'll take a big deep breath in, we'll hold it at the top, and then we'll take a big deep breath out, smiling after smelling that beautiful flower. So try it with me. Big deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. And then breathe out, smiling, smelling that wonderful flower. Let's try it again. Deep breath in. Hold it. And then a deep breath out. Very good. You can do that flower breath breathing anywhere, even with a real flower. That would be fun. Today we are going to be talking about bravery. Can you say that word with me? Bravery. Being brave can be really hard. Imagine what being brave feels like. We're going to be talking a lot about it today. We are actually going to read 2 stories about being brave today, so we'll have a chance to learn a lot about what it means to be brave. I picked 2 stories for us today because I wanted to compare the 2 stories and talk about how they're the same. Oh, well, hello, Crew. Crew came for story time too. He wanted to join us. So we're going to get to talk about how we can be brave in our book, Brave as Can Be. And then we have another book about bravery called Bravery Soup. And we'll read both and talk about how they are similar, also how they are the same. Similar and same are similar words. Very good. You might notice that the first one we're going to read, Brave as Can Be, is similar to the book that we did a lesson on recently called In My Heart. It's by the same author, and I love all of her books. So let's get started with Brave as Can Be, a book of courage. When I was little, I was afraid of everything. Little creaks and squeaks and booming thunderclaps, teeny creepy crawlies and monstrous pointy fangs. I had a pile of fears as big as a mountain. Look at all of her fears. She was really scared. When I was scared, I would shiver as if I was outside in the snow. I would shut my eyes tight and clap my hands over my ears. I was closed up against the cold as if I was in an igloo. Have you ever felt that way before? I know I have. used to be scared of the dark. There was a monster lurking in the shadows? But now I have a bright nightlight and my superpowered pajamas, which are 100% danger-proof. She used to be scared of the dark, but not anymore because she got a nightlight. The neighbor's dog can be scary too, with his loud barks and all of his teeth. But my mom says the dog is just saying hello. So holding her hand tightly, I say hello right back. She found a way to not be scared of the dog anymore too. Once I let go of Mom's hand and poof, she just disappeared. But I didn't panic. Sometimes moms get lost, so like a brave explorer, I spotted her through the crowd. I'm in a galaxy far, far away and heading straight towards a fuzzy yarn monster. Quick, wake up! It was just a nightmare. My dreams scare me too, sometimes. Do you ever have scary dreams? You wake up and you're really scared and you realize it was a dream? Trick or treat! On Halloween, it's my turn to be scary. With a cackling laugh and a pointy hat, I scare my friends, and my friends scare me too. It's fun to be scary on Halloween, isn't it? Sometimes it's fun to be scared. I love when Dad tells me my favorite spooky stories over and over. Once upon a time. When thunder booms and lightning flashes, I used to clench my teeth and my blankie. But now I tell my little sister, it's just a storm. Let's sing a song to give ourselves courage. She used to be afraid of the storms, but now she even helps her little sister not be afraid of the storms. My teacher can be very strict. When she's angry, her big black eyes make her look like an owl. But that's my own special secret. When I imagine her with feathers, it makes me feel brave. Beetles and butterflies, lizards and ladybugs, they slither and crawl and creep. But to them, I'm a giant. If I'm scared of them, think about how scared they must be of me. That's a good point. Sometimes bugs and spiders scare me, but they're little bitty compared to us. They're probably really scared of us. I'm older now, and my mountains of fears doesn't look so huge. In fact, now that I am big, it looks very small indeed. Look at her mountain of fears now. Let's go back to the beginning and see what it looked like at the beginning. Whoa, it was huge. She had so many things she was scared of. And then she realized she could be brave and not be scared of them anymore. And it shrunk, just a little bit of scared fear now. Because she became brave. Remember that word we're talking about today, being brave. Very good. So the girl in our story had lots of things she was scared of at first. Normal things to be scared of, like the dark or a thunderstorm, or if you lose your mom in a grocery store, or bugs, or bad dreams. But then she realized she could just change how she thought about them and not be so scared anymore. What a great idea and a great way to be brave. All right, so I told you at the beginning we were going to read 2 stories today and talk about how they are similar or the same. So we already read our Brave as Can Be, and now we're going to look at Bravery Soup. So as I read this story, really think about how it's the same as the book that we just read. This is called Bravery Soup. Before we get started, let's reach our shoulders up towards our ears, stretch our back a little bit, put them back down. Very good. Reach them up, put them back down. Let's take one big deep breath, ready for our second story. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Very good. Ready for our second story. This is called Bravery Soup. Let's see how it's similar to brave as can be. Oh, Crew's ready for our story. Carlin was afraid of everything. He was afraid of bumps in the night, of trying new things, of being alone. He was even afraid of his own shadow. He's scared of everything. You need a bit of bravery, said his friend Zach, and I know where you can get it. Early the next morning, Zach led Carlin to the edge of the woods. There they saw Big Bear, the bravest animal in all of the land. He was standing by the fire, stirring a big pot of soup. So, you want some bravery, do you? Asked Big Bear. Yes, stammered Carlin. Well, I'm mixing up a batch of bravery soup right here. But I'm missing a very important ingredient. Will you get it for me? Asked Big Bear. Will it make me brave? Asked Carlin. Most certainly, said Big Bear. But your journey will not be easy. You must go alone through the forbidden forest to Sulk Mountain. On the mountaintop, you will see a cave. And in the cave, you will find a box. Bring that box back to me. Carlin gasped, alone in the forest and in the cave? His knees were shaking. You are braver than you think, said Big Bear. When the animals heard that Carlin was venturing into the forbidden forest alone, they gathered around him. Here's an armor to protect you from the wild beasts. Here's a basket of food. The forest is full of poisonous plants. Here is a raft to cross the raging river. And here is a big stick to fight the fierce monster that lives in the cave. Wild beasts? Poison? Raging river? Fierce monster? Carlin's whole body shuddered. Then he remembered Big Bear's words. You are braver than you think. Now or never, Carlin thought. Slowly he walked into the thick forest. His friends waited a while, growing more and more worried. It is much too dangerous for little Carlin, they said. So they decided to go search for him. As Carlin's friends entered the forest, they came across the armor. Oh no, he is hurt. Then they found the basket of food untouched. Oh my, he's starving, they thought. Then they spotted the raft floating at the river's edge. Oh no, the river swept him away. But Carlin was not hurt. He had soon realized that he could not walk fast wearing the heavy armor. I can flee the beasts more quickly without it, he thought. So he took the armor off. Carlin was not starving, and as he walked along, he noticed animals and birds feasting on fruits in the forbidden forest. He saw some strawberries. I can eat these, he thought. So he dropped his heavy basket and he ate the delicious fruit. Carlin had not been swept away. When he came to the raging river, he found that a tree lay over the water. So he tossed the raft aside and carefully he began to make his way across. He took one tiny step and then another until he finally reached the other side. I did it, he cheered. Carlin looked up, and there before him was the mountain. Carlin trudged on. The mountain was covered with thick bushes and vines. He broke his stick, cutting a path. Then he spotted giant footprints. Carlin had discovered the monster's cave. Trembling, he entered. Minutes later, his friends found the broken stick by the mouth of the cave. Oh no, he has been eaten by the monster. But Carlin had not been eaten by the monster. He peered into the cave and squinted his eyes. There on the ground was the box. Just then, something moved from the shadows. The monster! Terrified, Carlin hid behind a pile of rocks. suddenly one of the rocks tumbled over. The sound made the monster jump and howl. "Who is that?" he whimpered. "What do you want?" Carlin had cast a long, spooky shadow. Could this scary monster be afraid of me? He thought. "My name is Carlin," Carlin said. "I came for the box." "This box?" The monster tossed the box towards Carlin. "Take it," he said. "Just please don't hurt me," said the monster. Carlin grabbed the box and he ran from the cave, bumping right into his friends. "Run, the monster!" They all raced down the mountain, over the river, through the forest, and back to the edge of the woods. At last, the tired animals gathered around Big Bear's fire. Carlin carried the precious box. "Now it is time," said Big Bear. "Open the box." Carlin pried off the lid. What do you think's going to be inside? The box was empty. Carlin was so sad. "I'm so sorry, Big Bear. I didn't get the secret ingredient for bravery." "But you did," said Big Bear with a smile. "The box was always empty." "Do you mean my journey was for nothing?" asked Carlin in surprise. "Your journey was not for nothing," said Big Bear. "You faced the forest and you faced your fear. It is not what is inside the box that makes bravery. It is what is inside you." "So what about the bravery soup?" asked Carlin. "It's called bravery soup because I only serve it to the brave," said Big Bear. "I am brave," said Carlin, and he held up his bowl. The end. Very good. So before we started our story, I said we were going to think about how Brave as Can Be was similar to bravery soup. So think about it for a minute. Maybe even tell somebody out loud how you think these two books are the same. Well, they both have brave in the title. That's one way they're the same, right? Another thing I noticed as I read each story is both the little girl and Carlin, the raccoon, were both really scared at first. They were scared of things that we're all scared of sometimes. The dark, or big thunderstorms, or being alone, or maybe a scary forest. It's normal to be scared of those things. But then they both realized, both Carlin and the girl in our first story, that they did have bravery inside of them. Even when they were scared, they also realized that they could be brave. They realized that if they looked for it, they could find their bravery within themselves. Very good. Just like the girl and just like Carlin, you have bravery inside of you too. You just might have to find it sometimes. Sometimes it might be hiding. It might be easy to feel scared or afraid or worried. But if we look really deep inside, we can all find our bravery. So maybe today or this week, you'll think about something that makes you feel scared or worried or afraid, and think about what you can do to be brave and to face your fears, just like the little girl did and just like Carlin did. We all have bravery inside. We just have to find it. Very good. Before we end today, I have a mindful moment that I wanted to share with you. This mindful moment is called Words to Yourself, and it came from this set of cards called Mindful Kids. It's a great set of mindfulness cards. And this mindful card for today it goes along perfectly with our stories about bravery. So make sure you come back to that crisscross if maybe you got out of your crisscross as our lesson went on. That's okay. Just come back to your crisscross now. Make sure your back is straight. You're in that proud mountain pose as we end with our mindful moment. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever is best for you. Are you ever nervous, scared, or worried about trying something new because you think you can't do it? Instead of worrying, close your eyes and imagine someone you love encouraging you to be brave. Imagine what words that person would say to you to encourage you to be brave. Now, talk to yourself in that same way. Use those positive words. Tell yourself it's okay to be scared or worried or nervous. It's okay to have to try many times when doing something new. By trying something new, by standing up even when we're nervous, that builds our bravery. Now try thinking about the kind, supportive, encouraging words you would say to a friend who needs your help to be brave. Think about what you would tell them. What if you had a friend who was too scared to try riding a bike? What could you tell them to make them feel brave? You could encourage them. You could give them tips. You could show them kindness and support. You can encourage them to be brave if they're feeling scared. You can use those same words when talking to yourself too. We call that self-talk. If you're feeling scared or worried or nervous, you can use self-talk to tell yourself to be brave. Just like Carlin reminded himself that Big Bear had said, "You're braver than you think." He told himself that in his head when he was feeling scared. So maybe next time you're feeling scared, you can use self-talk to say, "I know I'm braver than I think. I know I'm brave inside." And that will give you the courage you need when you're nervous, scared, or worried. As we finish thinking about those supportive and encouraging words to help us feel brave and to help those around us feel brave, open your eyes if you have them closed. Smile knowing that you are you and that is enough. It's okay to feel scared sometimes. It's okay to feel worried. You are you and that's what matters most. Thank you for joining me today. I had a great time learning about bravery with all of you. Make it an awesome rest of your day filled with lots and lots of kindness.